Hi people, this is me again, Rick from Amsterdam. I had a great time traveling through Norway, and I think a week ago we met each other on the ferry. He was walking there with his beautiful son. He's now 10 months?
No, he's just past a year.
So then we start talking about him and me and what I'm doing, and he told me he went to a festival on Værøy. It's called Værøy.
Varta.
Varta. It's always difficult, this pronunciation for Dutch people like us. We went there, spent a couple of days there. They said to me, if you are in Oslo, use our beautiful house, and maybe we see each other, maybe not. So we are seeing each other.
Yeah.
This afternoon I'm gonna leave. So yesterday evening I asked Simen if I could cut his beautiful hair. Maybe you can introduce yourself and tell me what you think about your hair, or what your hair is for you.
Yeah, hello, my name is Simen. It's a pretty uncommon name, so most people say Simon, Simon. I'm moving away from being a teacher for school and being a teacher or guidance in how to connect with your inner self through sharing circles, and this is the medicine for me, of bringing the inside out, of actually bringing what's in the shadows and what's usually hidden, bringing it out to actually meet yourself when meeting other people. So it's just as much as letting others meet yourself as you meeting yourself, because we tend to hide so much. It's like getting off the mask and stop suppressing our natural expression.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We talked a lot.
Yeah, we did.
The last days. I thought a little bit about your hair.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do a teeny weeny thing, because the only thing, it's like, how long did you cut it now?
I can't remember. Maybe it's getting up to 2 years ago.
And you like the length?
I like the length. I resonate with the tradition of long hair representing wilderness and strength, and yes.
Then I'm gonna leave his length as much as possible. Just these tiny pieces. It'll be subtle. A little layering, a little bit of movement in it.
Yeah.
But when we're finished, it won't be as beautiful as now. It takes about a couple of days to...
Takes a bit to settle in. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna start.
Yep. It's always really emotional to cut the hair. I get nervous every time, even though I know the one cutting the hair.
What is the reason why you become nervous?
I don't exactly know. It's just always been very emotional cutting the hair ever since I was a child.
Yeah. Sometimes people say they just have to... It's about trust.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is like... There is a lot of history in the hair.
Yeah.
So you can also cut some history.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both trusting the cut and maybe even the physical part of it, because you have dangerous tools close to my ears and eyes, and and I trust you with this.
I know, I trust you.
I trust you with more than this.
Yeah, it was interesting. Hey, I hear your son waking up.
Up and about. Oh, I feel the urge to go help.
So they will manage. The thing was always when we had young children, there was a cry of, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But it was also a cry, okay, now I need some help.
Yeah.
Is this the cry?
It's hard to tell. It might be just the emotions of waking up and being a bit uncomfortable. I don't normally brush my hair. Is that something you would recommend to do?
If you want to do something, it's like sometimes you can just clean the scalp.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about the work you do, or your. I think it's more a way of living.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good way of putting it. It's a way of living.
Why did you decide to choose for? What brought you on this path?
What brought me on this path was the experience I had meeting this way of living. I had already been deep diving into my psyche as best as I knew how with cognitive therapy, and I was, in my own view and opinion, and others as well, I think, extroverted and open about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But then I realized I was only open about the things I was comfortable with, and I could be comfortable with a lot of things that other people wouldn't be comfortable with. So in many point of view, I was vulnerable. But if you're speaking openly about something you're already comfortable with, you're not really being vulnerable. And so I realized I was hiding a lot of myself in stuff that I found vulnerable, and what I found out to be vulnerable is everything you've been rejected in. So like you tend to hide that in order to receive acceptance and be a part of the group.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, right. So when I realized how much I was still hiding, even though I was trying to be open and I thought I was vulnerable, and to a certain extent I really wasn't vulnerable. I knew that if this is medicine for me, it's going to be medicine for a lot of people. People want to stay the same, stay in their comfort zone, and we're supposed to grow. I love the expression in English, like we grow old. We don't just get old, we grow, we continuously grow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really beautiful when you think about it.
You grow old. I'm going to remember that one.
Yeah. And the thing is, we grow where we are the softest. A crab takes off its shell and then it's really soft and vulnerable, and then it can grow and expand because it's soft and it's able to shift shape. If it's hard and stiff, it's stuck that way.
Yeah.
And the trees don't grow at the bottom where the bark is thick. They grow on top where the leaves are really, really small. And so I really feel like this is how to get further in life and don't get stuck in old patterns, and as you said, be here in the now and don't get stuck in history, because
there's nothing to do there.
There's nothing to do there, and most of us have experienced a lot of trauma, and I know that's a word that sounds really big, but it just means an inner wound, and that comes from the experience, not the situation. So in a sense, you can experience really brutal situations, but if it's handled accordingly and timely, so you get you don't get any trauma. You can experience something really brutal, but if you're taken care of in a timely manner and in a way that you need, the experience passes and there's no trauma that's left inside of you. But someone just looks at you the wrong way or ignores you or makes fun of you, and you sit alone with the experience and you feel stupid, or you feel rejected, or you feel like you're not good enough, stuff like that. It can be really minor incidents. It actually leaves a wound, and if it's not attended to, it will fester and it will stay there forever. It says that time heals every wound, but it doesn't by itself.
Yeah,
You have to actually expose it to fresh air and clean it, and then it heals in time, for sure.
I recognize this really well.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, it's important to have this like safe haven
Yeah.
where you can soul search, and if you have a moment, and if you get like you're really vulnerable in that moment, and if you're surrounded with the wrong people, or
Yeah.
so that's the place you try to create for mostly men, huh?
Mostly men, yeah, because I'm a man myself, so that's where I can easily
Yeah.
that's where I can most easily relate, and I understand it better. Men and women operate differently and need different things, and it's how we communicate is different. So like I can bring a safe haven for women as well to a certain degree, but I can bring a lot more depth to the men. But I'm working on getting there for the women too, and I've just had a workshop with both men and women that was really well received. So it's definitely moving in the right direction. I set up workshops, retreats, and sharing circles, and we create a safe haven. We create a safe place. You're in an environment that's structured to make you feel safe, and it's set up in a way that you make relations that also feel safe, and that can they can see you, and they know how to receive you when you're vulnerable and sharing and whatever it may be. And this is a training ground. This is a training ground.
Yeah.
So we exercise our vulnerability in a safe space, but we want to bring that vulnerability out into our everyday life. We want to bring it out in the world. We want to have that type of openness that we have in the circle. We want to have that every day. In that way, we are practicing in a safe space, and when we are actually doing it out in everyday life, we are setting an example for others to show that it's okay. You can just express yourself, you can just be yourself. You don't have to suppress and filter out all the things you feel are not good enough, adequate, right, blah blah blah, all those things. And in that way it becomes a way of living. If you just do it in the circles, in the retreats, in the workshops, it just becomes like a hobby, a thing you do on the side, just an experience, but it's supposed to be integrated into your life. And yeah,
That's the same thing with me. The way I look at hair now. It was a long search before I arrived in this place. The thing I see it now, I give something that I know I'm good at in a space that has to be safe. And now I'm not thinking about work, but just giving, taking care of, to create a place where people are themselves. You're so in your place. How do you call it? You're so natural, the way you move and talk. When you're surrounded with, it's the same safe haven you create. And I can imagine how you were extrovert when you were younger, or you didn't open your eyes, or whatever, I don't know. You look like a strong blonde Viking, and with a low voice. And now you're much stronger, but mentally it's so, I can imagine how it is.
definitely. It was a strong and comfortable facade.
Yeah. If you can stand up from then put your head here. Then. Okay, your hair is cut. All the dry ends are gone. It's looking terrible. But
Yeah,
we know the drill.
yeah. It's looking terrible. It looks so weird when it's been brushed and cut. Yeah.
Exactly. Just make it wet. Go jump under the shower.
Yeah.
Just squeeze a little bit. You know the drill. And
Thank you so much.
thank you for that.
Thank you for the talk.
Thank you for your reports.
Pleasure.